First Godzilla, now this. Alright. Now if you know me, I'm a huge fan of monster movies. I like Frankenstein, I like Dracula, I like Godzilla. Heck, I'm a huge fan of King Kong. Because King Kong is basically one of the most iconic monsters ever in cinematic history. He's been known for being in a 1933 classic. He's been known to crossing over with Godzilla in King Kong vs. Godzilla. And man, Peter Jackson made King Kong, and that was a really excellent movie, despite what some people might think. And now we are getting a new and fresh King Kong with a very original style and a setting that we haven't seen before in King Kong movies. And you know, as I was waiting, I've been seeing most of the reviews, and they have been decidedly mixed. Some claiming it's good, some claiming it's a whopping disappointment. And so I finally saw the movie for myself. And when I walked into this movie, I was wanting a great time with King Kong, watching him smash helicopters and fighting giant lizard-like monsters. And so, I have to finally answer this question. Is the movie good? It's good! It's really good! It's a fun, silly, amazing, awesome time at the movies. It's tons of fun! But how does that happen, you ask? I'll tell ya, because this movie gets it. It knows exactly what it is and what it wants to be. It knows exactly what kind of audience can enjoy a movie like Kong Skull Island. 7-year-old kids and guys in their late 20s imagining being 7-year-old kids. And unlike Batman v Superman or Michael Bay's Transformers, it doesn't ignore those audiences in favor of fraternity jocks or comic book fanboys proclaiming that Zack Snyder is the second coming. Is this movie perfect? No. Some of the supporting characters are basically pointless cannon fodder, and some of the dialogue is a bit cheesy in a few parts, but dang it, it cooks! Because this movie's bright, colorful, imaginative, and inventive, and it's fun. The basic plot of this movie is that there are a group of survivors that are stranded on an island after a brief encounter with the mighty ape known as Kong. The group consists of John Goodman, who is one of the official leaders of an organization called Monarch, which is a company used to discover hidden creatures that no one has ever seen before in their wildest dreams. Along with the sidekick, played by Corey Hawkins, a lieutenant colonel played by Samuel L. Jackson, who's genius every scene he's in. Tom Hiddleston is a very sophisticated tracker. Brie Larson is a very feisty but very cheeky war photojournalist. You have soldiers for the comedy relief, one of them being played by Eazy-E from Straight Outta Compton, and along the way they meet up with strange characters like a castaway played by John C. Reilly. And throughout the movie, it's up to these survivors to make it out of Skull Island alive, while also having to deal with strange creatures that could be dangerous or want to eat you, demonic and lizard-like monsters which are called skull crawlers, and the movie star itself, the ginormous ape himself, King Kong. Now first off, I would like to say that the cast is a lot of fun. Of course, some of the characters aren't entirely fleshed out, but because of their performances, they're so dang good at their job that with their performance can make the one-dimensional character feel interesting. John Goodman, Corey Hawkins, Tom Hiddleston, they're really great in the roles, but the two characters that steal the movie are John C. Reilly and Samuel L. Jackson. John C. Reilly is a very humoristic character as well, and while we saw him in the trailer and we're like, he might be really bizarre comedy relief that won't work in the movie at all, the script actually provides him with really hilarious dialogue, and it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it really works. But where it mainly works is with Samuel L. Jackson. This guy can make every piece of cheesy dialogue in this movie feel like one of the greatest quotes ever. There is a quote from him that involves him and Brie Larson, and it just is hilarious. To be honest, I did not expect that line to happen, but it was funny to me. And speaking of which, I really liked Brie Larson in this movie. She's very likable, she gives some good remarks every now and then, but during points in the movie, during like its action scenes, she really shines. And I know that people are gonna retort back saying that, oh, she does nothing but take photos and get scared. You gotta be kidding me. She kills an outlandishly dangerous monster that is killing half of the crew entirely. What the film also is a very stunning and colorful movie. Basically, it's kind of fitting the vibe of like Apocalypse Now and other Vietnam-like movies. And you know what? It works. It's very bright, it's very lively. And some shots from the cinematography make Kong look amazing. There's a shot where Kong is standing in front of the sunset where helicopters are flying towards him. You have shots like those that are just really colorful and fit the aesthetic of Apocalypse Now. It's one of those shots that make the movie very colorful and vibrant. And people are saying, oh, this movie is just bland, dourred, and lifeless. You don't know what bland and lifeless looks like. The effects are also dazzling to look at. Kong looks extremely detailed and very well designed, and while you're seeing him stand 100 feet tall in full scale, it just looks mind-blowing. Even some of the monsters like the skull crawlers are just awesome. And speaking of which, the creature combat is just awesome. It's the kind of action scenes you would expect from a monster movie like this. It's not as groundbreaking as Kong fighting 4 V-Rexes in the remake of King Kong, but as far as fight scenes go in this movie, it's just awesome. But yeah, some of my flaws mainly have to do with kind of the dialogue. It's just a little cheesy, and some of the characters that are just pointless cannon fodder. Or basically some characters that don't even need to be in the movie. Like for example, Jing Tian should not be in the movie. She's not in any kind of peril. She doesn't do a lot in this movie. She's usually just there. But other than that, Kong Skull Island is just a very fun time with the movie. Sure, it may not be the smartest movie, it may not be the coolest, but it's the most entertaining because it's honest with itself. It knows exactly what it wants to be. A very entertaining, fresh, fun creature feature. It's not a Frankenstein of other movies like Suicide Squad, it's not a flaccid cash-in like Independence Day Resurgence, and it's not ashamed of its source material like Michael Bay's Transformers or Batman v Superman. This is a movie that completely gets it, with a cast that's a lot of fun, dazzling effects, gorgeous looking cinematography, with some very awesome creature combat. Kong Skull Island is just a very entertaining monster movie. That's all it is. And for that, Kong Skull Island earns a 4 out of 5. And also people, if you're gonna watch this movie, stick around to the end credits. There's a post-credit scene waiting for ya. Make sure to stay there, because it's gonna blow your mind. Alright guys, that is my review of Kong Skull Island. That was weird. Comment below, let me know what you thought about the movie. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. And also be sure to subscribe for more. My name is Luke Nukem, and you have been blown away.